Hello, welcome to your Feel Good practice. Start by finding Hero's Pose, sitting on top of a block or 2 blocks in between the ankles, resting the hands on the lap. Just taking a moment to feel into the body and the breath. We'll start this practice with Kapalabhati breath to warm up the core. Placing the hands at the belly, take an inhale breath and exhale. And then your next inhale, breathe in. Exhale through the nose as you draw the navel towards the spine in a quick motion like this. Lips are gently sealed as you breathe out through the nose and let the inhale happen naturally. Do it about 20 to 30 times and then rest your hands on your lap. We'll do a second round. And inhale. Begin. The snapping back of the belly button towards the spine. Again, 20 to 30 times and then rest. Notice the breath, feel into the body. Let's transition off of our blocks and onto our back. Knees are bent, feet on the floor. Notice the back of the head, the shoulder blades, and the sacrum being supported by the ground beneath you. Lift into a low bridge, engaging the glutes, and then begin to lift and lower your heels, warming up your feet, ankles, calves. Do that about 10 to 20 times. Keeping the glutes engaged, and then feet on the floor and begin to lift your toes and the front parts of your feet off the ground. Keep holding through the glutes, breathing. Arms press into the ground, and then we'll lower and lift the hips in a bridge lift. About 15 times here. Warming up the backs of the legs. Pressing the feet firmly into the ground. Slight tuck of the chin to elongate the cervical spine. Gently hug the knees into the chest when you're done. Maybe circle the knees around, massaging the sacrum. Changing directions. Feeling into the low back. You might take the knees wide and make some circles through the hips. Just simply noticing how the body feels. No judgment, no criticism. And then we'll take the block and place it the wide way through in between the thighs. Hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, elbows point up, take an inhale breath. As you exhale, lift the head and shoulder blades off the mat. Starting to engage down into the pelvic floor, into the low belly. We'll do a few of these, lifting the head and shoulder blades. Taking a slight pause at the top, feeling the abdominal muscles engage. Now we'll lift the feet off the floor, take a rotation, come back to center, lower the feet and the head. Again, lift the head and shoulder blades, lift the feet, and rotate opposite direction. Lower the feet, lower the head. A few more times, just alternating sides. Exhaling as you lift up, knees over hips, flexed ankles. Good. Release the block, put it off to the side. Take your feet as wide as a yoga mat and let your knees rock from side to side. You might hold for a moment as you reach your arms overhead and grab for opposite elbows or for your opposite wrist, finding some length along the side bodies into the psoas muscles. Hug the knees into the chest. And then right knee comes in. We'll take it across the body into a supine twist. You might want to rest your knee on the block on the highest setting. Allow your right arm to splay out long. You might turn your gaze off to the right. Breathe down deep into the belly. Hug both knees in and switch sides. Left knee comes in. Right leg goes long and then take it across, extending the left arm, maybe gaze to the left. Just a couple breaths here. Soften through the shoulders. Make our way up and around through a seated position by rocking and rolling, coming around into tabletop, hands and knees, shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees, moving into some cows and cats, mobilizing the spine. Inhale as you lift and look forward and up. Exhale as you round and tuck the chin. And you might want to start adding some rib rolls or circular motion, getting into the side bodies. Anything that feels good in the body. You might like to do this with your eyes closed. Come back to tabletop. And walk the hands forward into a puppy dog pose. Forehead comes down. Hips are right over the knees. Find a nice elongated spine. Reaching through the fingertips. Couple breaths here. Next, come down onto the forearms into Sphinx pose. Elbows are under the shoulders. Legs extend long behind you. Glutes slightly engaged. Lift the heart space. Feel a stretch through the front body. And then we'll tuck the toes under and come into a supported forearm plank on the knees. Feel free to lift the knees if you want it a little more intense. Rib cage knits together, belly button draws in. Walk the feet forward into dolphin pose. Try to keep the crown of the head off the floor, pressing into the forearms and the elbows, engaging the shoulders. You might bend and straighten one leg at a time, letting the hips move side to side, and then make your way into embryo pose. Knees together, forehead down, reach the arms back to allow the shoulders to really relax. From here, we'll slowly come up and roll the shoulders back a few times, releasing some tension. And making our way into downward facing dog. Spreading through the fingers, pressing into the palms, reaching through the arms, creating a nice long spine. Any movement here that feels good, these, feel free to take it. Allow the head to hang heavy, lifting the pelvis up. We'll take our feet a little wider and walk the hands back towards the feet, taking a forward fold, a little bit more bent in the knees as you allow your belly and your torso to rest over your thighs. Allow the head to hang between the upper arm bones. You might reach your fingers a little bit out in front. Knees as bent as you need them to be. Come up slowly. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Side body stretch to the right. As you exhale, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, side body stretch to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Walk the hands forward. Downward facing dog. Plank pose. Push the earth away. Inflate that space between your shoulder blades, and then knees down, belly down. Reach back, Shalambhasana. Roll out your wrists and your ankles as you're extending your spine. Hands down. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Again, walk the hands back to the feet. Find your deep forward bend. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, side body stretch to the left. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. High plank or come down into child's pose. Knees wide, hips back, maybe a little bit of side to side movement as you reach the arms forward. Rise up onto all fours and hips up and back, downward facing dog. Tiptoe your feet forward, come to the top of the mat, fold in. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment here, feel your feet. Inhale, reach up, look up, fold forward halfway. Step back. Right knee down, arms up, 90-90 lunge. Engage your right glute. Pull back through the front foot and breathe into the hip flexor. Hands down, step back to plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way down to the belly. Cobra pose, lift the heart space, exhale, release. Tuck your toes, inhale, push up and back, exhale, down dog. Right leg steps forward, lower the left knee, arms up, 90-90. Again, really focus on engaging that left glute to find opening in the hip flexor. Energetically hug your inner thighs towards each other. Back toes are untucked. Hands down, tuck your back toes, step forward and fold. Inhale, rise up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Left leg steps back, 90-90 lunge. This time toes are untucked. Toes are tucked. Arms reach up and cactus the arms. Inhale, rotate to the right, come back to center. Exhale. Do that a few times. Just moving through the rib cage, freeing up space in the thoracic spine. Arms up, exhale, hands down, step back into plank. Lower the knees, lower down. Shalambhasana, reach the arms back, lift the toes, maybe roll out the wrist and ankle again. Palms down, push up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, lower the right knee. Keep the toes curled, arms up. Draw the elbows down into cactus shape. Inhale. Exhale, rotate to the left. Back to center. Again, a few of these. Come back to center, inhale. Arms down, step forward, exhale. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Inhale, arms up, look up. Forward fold, let it go. Halfway lift. Step back to plank pose, Surya Namaskar A. Lower the knees, lower. Halfway, do a couple push-ups here. And then down to the belly. Reach back, Shalabhasana, locust pose. And then push up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale, move to the top of the space. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart, exhale. Again. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, elongate the spine, step back to plank. You might stay in plank and lower all the way down. Find a little higher cobra pose. Release it down, exhale. Inhale, push up and back. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat, exhale. All the way up. When you're ready, breathe in. Forward fold. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hi, welcome to this feel-good practice. Back to plank. Find hero's pose using one or two blocks between the ankles. Push-ups. Come all the way down onto the belly. Shalabhasana. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. You might move the hips a little side to side. Just breathe here. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, look up. Fold forward, dive. Halfway lift. Inhale. Step the right leg back and lower the knee. Come into your 90-90 lunge. Breathe in. Arms up. Cactus the arms. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale. Reach up. And then we're going to pivot, turn to the right, bending into your right knee. Left leg is straight, reaching your fingertips over towards the left, but almost like you're in a down dog shape, long spine. Look up, turn back to the front of the mat, plank pose. Lower to the belly. Cobra, inhale. Lower, exhale. Push up and back, inhale. Down dog, breathe out. Right leg lifts. Step forward, lower the left knee, inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, little baby back bend. Inhale, reach. Turn to the left. And reach your right fingertips towards the right side, so the opposite foot. We're bending into the left knee, finding some length through the inner thigh. A nice stretch in the adductors. Halfway lift, turn back to the front of the mat, and step forward and fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive down. Halfway lift, step your left leg back, lower the knee, lift your arms, breathe in. Turn to the left side, lunges. Just let your upper body drape over, allow your head to be free, moving side to side, and then we turn back to the front, step back into plank. Lower to the belly, reach back, locust pose, hands under the shoulders, push up and back, down dog. Lift your left leg high to the sky and step it through. Arms up. Good. Turn to the right. Side lunges here. Just let the upper body hang. And sway side to side. Turn back to the front. Step forward and fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Right leg steps back. Lower the knee. Arms up. Inhale. Turn to the right. Side lunge. Turn to the front, come up, warrior two. Bend into your front knee, extend your arms long, ground your back foot at an angle. Breathe here, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. And then we reach forward, come into side angle, extended side angle. Right arm reaches straight up or up and over the ears. You turn your gaze up. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your front leg. And then cartwheel the hands down, step back into plank. Come down to the belly, cobra. Release, and then push up and back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip, scorpion dog. Send the leg straight back, step it through. Knee down, arms up, 90-90 lunge, breathe in. Turn to the left, breathe out, side lunge. Warrior two. Ground that back foot. Reach those arms long. Your drishti is over your middle finger towards the front of your mat. Breathe here, stacking shoulders over hips. Forearm to the thigh. Side angle, extended side angle. Turning the gaze up, opening the heart space. Try not to have too much pressure on that front leg in that arm. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten that leg, reach up and back. Cartwheel the hands down and step forward and fold. Rise all the way up with a breath in. Fold right back down, breathe out. Halfway lift and step that left leg back. Lower the knee, inhale, reach up, 90-90. Exhale, side lunge, bend into the left. Warrior two. Extended side angle, breathe out. Inhale, reverse triangle, you might lift your front toes. Cartwheel the hands down, step back into plank. Lower the knees. Maybe a few push-ups. Come down to the belly. Cobra, maybe up dog. Release, push up and back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, scorpion dog. Square off the hips, send your leg straight back, and then step that foot through. Lower the knee, inhale up, 90-90. Side lunge to the right. Warrior two. Extended side angle, breathe out. Inhale, reverse triangle, breathe in. Cartwheel the hands down, step forward and fold. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart, exhale. Just take a moment here. Inhale, reach up. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift, step your right leg back, gaze forward, and then rise up, high crescent lunge. Nice neutral pelvis, a little bend in the back knee. heel is nice and lifted. Open to warrior two. Gaze over your left fingertips. Extended side angle. Reverse warrior, inhale. Straighten your front leg, hands to hips. Shorten your stance, setting up for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Extend the arms, reach. Windmill down, right arm up, left arm down. You can have a slight bend in your front knee. Rotate the thoracic spine, the rib cage open. Right hand to your hip, bend your front knee, gaze forward. You might use a block. Coming into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Lifting your back leg, stacking your right hip on top of your left. So rotating the chest towards the side of the room, the side of the space, reaching the right arm up, left arm down, and then landing in warrior two. Find reverse warrior. Cartwheel the hands down, step back into plank. Lower onto the belly, or you might take a vinyasa. Any back bend of choice, and then push up and back, down dog. Lift your right leg, flip your dog, or hold your scorpion. Reaching that right arm up and over the ear. You might hold onto your head if you feel some tension in your neck. Take it back around, three-legged dog, and step that right foot through. High crescent lunge. Back heel nice and lifted. Soft bend in the knees. Warrior two. Turn your back heel down, gaze over your front fingertips. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Straighten your front leg, hands to hips, shorten your stance, setting up for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Extend the arms, gaze forward, reach your upper body forward, and then windmill. The left arm down, right arm down, left arm up. Rotate your torso open, stay and breathe. Maybe a slight bend in your front knee. Bring that top hand to your hip, gaze forward. You might grab a block. Half moon pose. Find your balance, lift that leg, and then open the hips. Feel free to use the block or take your fingertips off the block as you reach the opposite arm up towards the ceiling. Gently land, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Cartwheel the hands down. Step forward and fold. Rise up, inhale. Hands to heart. Breathe out. Inhale, arms up. Forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Step your left leg back, high lunge, reach up, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Inhale, come into high pyramid. Turning both your toes towards the long edge of your mat, hands to your hips, and then fold forward over the legs, Prasarita, wide leg forward fold. Allow your head to hang. You might reach your fingertips back through your legs, so your fingers are facing the opposite direction of your toes. Find some length in your spine, and come into a halfway lift, hands to hips, inhale, rise up, flat back. Pyramid pose. Turn your toes towards the front. Parallel your hips, arms reach up, and then fold over that front leg. You might bend the knee slightly. Tuck the chin, bring the forehead towards the knee as you reach the arms out in front. You can use a block here. Inhale, halfway lift. Single leg lift. Coming into one-legged mountain, left knee comes forward and up. Arms reach. Left hand to your left knee, open it out to the side as you reach your right arm out to the side and maybe turn your gaze to the right thumb. Come back to center, arms up, hands to heart, figure four. Take your fingers to your pelvis and shift your hips back, and then left hand on your thigh, right hand on the sole of the foot. So you press into those places, find that opening in the outer hip. Inhale, release, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Left leg steps back. Reach up, high crescent lunge. Warrior two. Straighten the leg, parallel the feet. Coming warrior two to the other side. Facing the back of the mat. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet, come into your high pyramid. I'm going to turn around, clasp the hands behind your back, open the chest, and then fold forward. As you're in this pose, gently shake out your head. You might move your shoulder blades up and down the back, creating some space. When you're ready, release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Come all the way up, and then turn your toes out, heels in, finding goddess pose or horse stance. Arms reach up, elbows come out to the side, cactus the arms, and then we're going to rotate right and left, moving through the thoracic spine. Keeping the knees nice and bent in this strong squat stance. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms reach overhead. Finding that pyramid pose, left toes forward. Even out your pelvis, facing the front of the room. Hinge forward, tuck your chin in towards your knee, your chin towards your chest, forehead towards your knee as you reach forward. And then look up, standing L, lift that right leg. Pull the knee through and forward, one-legged mountain, arms reach. Right hand to the inner right knee as you open it to the side, left arm out. You might gaze to the left hand, finding your balance. Strong standing leg, and then arms up, knee forward, hands to heart, figure four, sink back, sit back, long spine. Left hand to the sole of the foot, right hand to the thigh, and gently press on those landmarks, finding an opening in your outer hip. Inhale, release. Step down, both feet to the earth. Pause there for a moment. And then we'll take our feet wide, turn the toes out, heels in, sit down for goddess squat or malasana. Elbows to the inside of the knees, palms pressed together, long spine. You might reach your arms forward and let your head drop as you round your spine in this shape. And then we'll bring the hands back to heart center, elbows to the inner knees, palms down, straighten the legs. Come up into the toes, toe squat, heels lift, hips to the heels, and then sit down, soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Sit up nice and tall. And then hands to the inner knees and gently press down as you exhale. Good, release that. Straighten the legs out in front. Bend your right knee, bring it to the chest, and then cross your right ankle over your knee. Take your left arm up into the air, right hand behind you as you find a spinal twist here, seated twist. Inhale for length. Use the hand behind you as support, and exhale, find softness, or maybe a little more rotation. Stay for a few breaths. Inhale, come back to center. Straighten both legs. Inhale, reach up. Bend your knees a little, fold forward, round your spine, relax your forehead towards your legs, finding a nice stretch in the lower back. Come on up. Seated twist on the other side, bring your left knee in, and then we'll cross the left ankle over the right knee. Right arm up, left hand behind you, twist to the left. Hold on to that knee or that thigh. Inhale for length. Exhale for a little more depth in your twist. Stay and breathe. 3 full rounds of breath. Come back to center. Extend the legs long. Reach up. Exhale, roll slowly onto your back. Legs stay long. Bend the knees, walk the feet in towards your hips. Extend your arms down on the mat. You might grab the sides of the mat as you lift your hips up into a bridge pose. Press the feet firmly to the earth, engage the glutes. Walk the shoulder blades closer together as you might want to interlace your fingers here and draw the knuckles down towards the heels of the feet. And breathe into the back side of the body. Soften the face. Relax the jawline. And simply be here. A few rounds of breath, maybe 3 to 5 rounds of breath. Release your bind and your shoulders and slowly come onto your back. Resting there just for a brief moment. Happy baby pose, taking the outer edges of the feet or peace fingers around your big toes and drawing the knees out wide. You might rock a little side to side, straightening and bending the legs. Breathing into where you're feeling sensation. And then release. Hug the knees into the chest. Lift the head and shoulder blades off the mat. Give yourself a tight squeeze. Take the block and place it behind the head. So most of your neck is hanging off the block. We're just going to give ourselves a little massage. Massaging the neck and the trapezius muscles, those thick ropey muscles that connect from the neck to the shoulders, top of the shoulders. Just a moment here. And then we're going to take the block right behind the shoulder blades, hands behind the head, knees bent, feet on the floor, and let your upper body lay back, elbows out wide, but you're supporting your head here, opening up the chest, the heart space, let the rib cage expand. Breathe here. Use your core to lift back up, come off the block. Place it off to the side and come onto your back. Take your feet as wide as your mat and your arms away from the body, turning the palms to face up. Allow the weight of your body to be heavy and supported by the ground beneath you. Shavasana. Allow a hint of a smile to come into mind. Your body can have a physiological response to that. Let your breath be natural. So allow yourself to be here in this space. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to support. So allow yourself this time to be still. You might want to take one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest. Feel yourself breathing. Listen to the sounds around you. Check in with the contents of your mind. You might start to rock your head side to side or lick your lips and swallow a few times as you start to invite some small movements, maybe a good morning stretch, reaching the arms overhead, and then in your own way, make your way up to a seat. However you'd like to get there. There can be little pauses in between or movement. Once you arrive in your seated position, sit up nice and tall. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. Feel your seat on the ground. You might bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, this gesture of gratitude. Slight bow, the chin towards the fingertips. Sending yourself some love, some gratitude to this body that does so much for us. You might bring your hands to your forehead and bow down. Thank you so much for joining me.